Hello, everyone, and welcome to LFG, Mack Flash's Leisure Fan Gab. My name is Matt. I'm here with Scott, and we are going to talk leisurely. Actually, we're going to talk briefly about the Oscars. It's Oscar night.
Tonight,
It's Oscar.
Oscar
We are
Day.
hours away from Hollywood's biggest night, the Academy Awards, where our betters pat each other on the back.
What's up, pal? How are you?
I'm good. I've
How have you enjoyed this year's Oscar season? Well, this is our second season of this Pushing 10 iteration,
right.
and it is. I wonder if is it different? Is it the same? Last year was a COVID year. This year was generally in America not. Did you enjoy the march, the SAGs, the Globes, the PGAs?
Well, there were no Globes, and I
Yeah,
didn't.
they
I
were.
didn't watch any of the other awards because I don't have cable to watch. I didn't watch the SAGs. I didn't watch the BAFTAs. I didn't watch the DGAs or the Writers Guild. But I have kept up to date on who has won, and it seems to be a lot of the same names over and over and over again, including the Grammys last year, where Billie Eilish won for "No Time to Die." Because that's when that movie was supposed to come out.
Of course.
The single drop, and she won for best song in a movie that wasn't even released. This year was not hectic, but I did my best to watch as many of the nominated movies as I could. I'm still back by about like three or four that I haven't watched. That I'll probably get to right before the
Yeah,
broadcast begins,
I have
but
two
I did
omissions,
watch
but
most of the front runners and based my picks pretty much on what I've seen and what a lot of the critics are saying are going to win as well.
of course, yeah. So we'll go through our picks here. Whatever you guys want to chat, it'll be fun. We got some stuff to chat about because, yeah, like you, I love Oscar season. I'm so excited. It's the politicking, it's how they play, it's what people do. We'll talk about as we go through whose campaigns have risen and whose campaigns have been hurt by comments and social media things and who gets the surge. I love it all. It always seems so long. It's basically April. I saw these movies in October,
Yes,
November. I saw King Richard before Thanksgiving,
yeah, because
and
we were
that was
prepping for Globes.
it. Was that it was Ghostbusters and Tick Tick Boom. I saw in the same weekend, and that's like 6 months ago. So I had to watch these again a second time. There's a few movies I watched a second time just to refresh and lead up to it. So that's the only thing about the Oscar season is it's such a marathon. Maybe that's the joy and the treat of it, but ultimately it's just so long.
And with every watch of a new movie, I'm like, yeah, I could see that winning in its category or whatever, with the exception of one movie, and we'll get to that. Well, I'll just say it now. I said to you and AB in our chat, Power of the Dog is getting no picks from me.
Well,
I'm
don't spoil
just
it now, man. Why would you do that? We got that's so fun. Let's go. We'll go through. We'll
okay.
go through. That's the teaser on see how Power of the Dog performs on Matt's ballot. Where do you want to start? Do you look in the same ballot? You want to start visual effects and go
Yeah,
up?
and then we'll
Okay,
go up.
I got the same ballot right here.
And we'll similar to the ABC broadcast, we might skip a few of these and add in a special guest in a pre-recorded message as to picks for
Just
certain
like the Oscars
categories.
when they give away the awards pre-recorded
That's
this
right.
year, they are.
So yeah, we'll kick things off. Best visual effects. The nominees are Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man: No Way Home. I picked Dune.
This is the first of many times I tick Dune in these technical awards. So I
Okay.
also have visual effects for Dune. The other movies are mid when it comes to it. People go No Way Home, Spider-Man. If you look at Marvel, they do not win a lot of visual effects. Infinity War didn't, Endgame didn't, nothing did until Black Panther, I believe, won this award. But they don't win for any superhero movies. So Dune is a prestige film with like visual effects in the way that like Ex Machina was when it won, but like times 1,000. So Dune is a slam dunk here, I feel.
I agree
Yeah.
completely. Next, we'll skip a couple and we'll go to best production design. Dune makes an appearance again. Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. I went with Dune here as well.
I went with Dune on the will win for the same thing production, the sand, the ships, everything looks incredible. Two shout outs that I want in this Nightmare Alley, which is literally all production, which is the carnival scenes,
Yeah.
Blanchett's office is incredible. The fact that they're doing it in a noir too. GDT shot it in a noir, black and white, and it looks beautiful. This was one of my top 3 favorite films of the year last year. But the other thing too that's going to get no love, which not even like I think maybe 24 people have seen, is the tragedy Macbeth. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
I just
I
got
was like,
Apple Plus yesterday to watch
cool,
Coda,
man.
and then Macbeth.
That's the big one. Watch Tragedy Macbeth. It's one of the most like unbelievable films I've ever seen. It's like Sin City on acid. The way it's shot, like with the black and whites and the colors and like the cinematography of it, and like the way it looks and like these. There's no set. It's all black, but you see these giant 3 white windows, and it just looks like a drawing. And I'm just like, oh my god, no one is going to acknowledge this movie, but the look and the aesthetics of this film is out of this world good. That being said, it's going to be Dune, but I'm just saying those are 2 other movies that in this category I'm like, man. Production design is loaded this year.
Yeah, and Nightmare Alley would certainly be my second place. If Nightmare Alley wins, I'll be like, yeah, I
wouldn't be surprised because that's the thing too. You look at some of these technical awards, and then you look at like these movies, and 4 of the 5 are nominated for Best Picture, and the other one is a Big Apple movie with Denzel in that, and directed by one of the Coen brothers. But like everyone involved has won Academy Awards before. Like GDT is an Academy darling, Campion, Spielberg, like Cohen. It's just like if that's the award where they give it to somebody with like that they like. Oh, we like GDT. Let's give it to his cinematographer if he campaigned for him. That's how the Oscars works, and I like it. But I could see this one. If they were going to share it around to something else, that won't win.
Up next, we'll do makeup and hairstyling. The nominees are Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. And I am going with The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye, where a movie where makeup and hairstyling is an actual character in the plot. I think that's such a slam dunk. I think the fun story too, Chastain. Ever heard of her? She's in the lead actress category. Has been campaigning harder for the makeup and hairstyling people than her own campaign. And she has a really great thing because they're doing the awards before the Academy Awards to film. She said she's going to skip the red carpet so she can go into the studio to see if the makeup and hairstyling people win. And I think people like that. I think she's throwing her hat in support. And if you've seen that movie, that's literally the first shot is her talking about taking off the makeup and how it's permanently and it's her character. And Tammy Faye's been fused with this makeup and hairstyling aesthetics. And you're just like, oh, this is such an important aspect of the film. Unlike a way that Jared Leto was in the suit in House of Gucci, this actually elevates, whereas that was like an anchor. So It's Tammy Faye.
Best International Feature Film. The nominees are Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Lunana, Yak in the Classroom, and Worst Person in the World. I am picking Drive My Car.
So this is a really tough year. These films get a lot of credibility. Flee is nominated for multiple things. Worst Person in the World is nominated for Screenplay. But of these 5 films, only one is nominated for Best Picture. So it's simple. If one is good enough to be nominated for Best Picture, it is certainly going to win Best International Film, and that's Drive My Car.
I do have a second place for that, though. A Yak in the Classroom. Maybe not a close winner, but I really, really like that one. We'll move up to Best Documentary Feature. The nominees are Ascension, Attica, Flee, Summer of Soul, and Writing with Fire. I want to pick Summer of Soul. It's a toss-up between Summer of Soul and Flee. Flee is nominated for 3 categories. It's winning one of them. I don't know which one. But I picked it for 2. I'm picking Flee. I thought it was terrific.
Riz Ahmed is also nominated for another in the short category. I think that's where he gets his Oscar. I don't think I have Flee shut out in all 3. This is Questlove. Questlove, Summer of Soul. Yeah, made a lot of year-end lists, best of the year. Questlove emceed the Oscars last year. Yeah, I got Summer of Soul winning in this category for me. So I like that we differ there.
I think we'll differ in a couple of more categories moving on. Not this one, though. Best Costume Design. The nominees are Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story. Now, when the trailer for House of Gucci came out, I said, this is a lock. It's getting the nom. It's getting the win. It's a movie about making clothing. And then it got snubbed. So then after I saw Dune, I was like, okay, this is going to be it. forgetting that there's another movie
Yeah, it's a movie
about
about me.
making clothing. It's
Yeah.
Cruella. Cruella is winning best costume
Yeah,
design.
that's cool. I like that. I'm down with it. Cruella's fine. It came out right last April and kind of largely forgotten. It was like a big hit because there's no movies out and Disney Plus put it straight on. So I remember it being like pretty much everywhere. But I'm glad it's getting back, and this is where it deserves to win. Cruella for costume design is a fun win. So I like that. I picked it as well.
Up next will be best cinematography. The nominees are Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. And for me, it's Dune.
Yeah. So this is again goes with the production design, very similar categories. So it's Dune as well too. Dune had the cinematography. Dune got shut out. So this is basically acknowledging that if Denis Villeneuve doesn't get the nomination for director, but all these technical awards get done, then and like production design, costumes, everything, and that kind of goes in the role of cinematographer, how he shoots it. So they're definitely acknowledging like Greg Fraser, how well he did. Also, stock super high. Greg Fraser, just the cinematographer on The Batman that just came out.
Yes.
So his stock in Hollywood is at an all-time soaring height. So I'm going to cap off his incredible run in the last little bit with an Oscar win as well too. But like looking at that, like I said, Nightmare Alley, incredibly shot. Power of the Dog, 12 nominations. That one looked amazing too. Sorry, Sam Elliott. Tragedy Macbeth, I think, is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. I just couldn't believe it that they shot a film like that. And then West Side Story is just a vibrant color of like smorgasbord buffet. But again, it's Dune. I have Dune on all these technical categories.
Up next, we'll do Best Animated Feature. The nominees are Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells and the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon. I picked Flea for this as well.
Cool. That's cool. That's probably it. I think this is a relatively weak year on like animated features. So I look and they're like, okay, I've seen them all. And that's and then like this is going back to stock and online and Twitter and podcasts and stuff. And like Mitchells and Machines is surging. Like they're really
It's
trying. Like Lord
hilarious.
Miller,
I love
yeah,
it.
Lord Miller are really trying to put that campaign back to it, and you've seen a lot more people talking about it. So I kind of gauge that. But the way I see it is, when the Oscars were voting in December and January, the biggest movie phenomenon in the world was Encanto. And do I think Encanto is as good as Disney's previous offerings to win an Academy Award? Probably not. Maybe it's better than some others. Maybe it's better than when Pixar won Brave. But it was a phenomenon when Academy Award voters were voting. And just on that alone, I picked Encanto because Bruno was everywhere when they were casting their votes, and they just voted for that. That's why I think Encanto is an easy Academy, like an animated win for that it peaked at the exact time when voting was going
on. Now, here's the part
Juicy
before
stuff, my man.
Here's the part where we head over to our guest picker, Andrew Brien.
Hi, this is Andrew from the Mack Flash crew. Matthew asked me to do a special segment on the Oscars to fill in some of the categories that they won't get to. So I gladly said yes. Oscar season is a time that I enjoy, not for the Oscars themselves, which I really don't like, but for the list of nominations. The list of nominations I have for the last 4 or 5 years, I've used as a watch list to watch the supposedly best films of the year. And I enjoy going through the list and seeing what has been nominated and what people think as the best in each category. And so I'm going to get to some of the categories that they're not going to touch on. And I'm going to give the pick of what I think will probably win and what I think should have won, should win in each category. And so what I think is going to win is a movie from Maria Brindle, and it is Alakachu, which translates to Take and Run, which is about kidnapped brides, and which is a fictional story, but it is a real issue of women being kidnapped and taken off and married and forced into marriage, and obviously very tragic and horrible situation. So I think that that's a powerful movie that I think actually will win. The one I enjoyed the most and which I think should win is called Please Hold, and is by KD Davila. And this movie, short film, uh, was pretty much like a Black Mirror / Twilight Zone episode, which highlights the failings of a futuristic judicial system, and it was really fun and really unique and very entertaining, but also very poignant. And so my picks for what I think will probably win is from Netflix, and it is Robin, directed by Michael Please and Daniel Ojari. It's a fun little story about a orphan bird who's taken in by these mice and raised as a mouse, and quickly finds out through circumstances that he is not in fact a mouse, which is really cute. My pick I think should win is a movie from Chile called Bestia, which translates into beast, and it is a true story of a woman who is part of the Chilean secret police, and this little short story about her life, and it is very uniquely animated. Some of the most unique animation I've seen in the shorts for a little bit, but also very disturbing and very powerful. It's what I think will win is both the same, and it is The Queen of Basketball, directed by Ben Proudfoot. This is the story of Lucy Harris, who was drafted first woman to be drafted into the NBA. It is a beautiful, powerful story of told by Lucy Harris herself, and her personality is so infectious, and her laugh and her smile are just so charming. It is just a delightful film to watch, and it's a great story that needs to be told about a very a great woman who broke a lot of barriers, both as a woman but and also as a black woman, and it's just a great film. I think this is kind of going to be a throw to what I think is going to be a throw to a film in a long series of films, which is the Bond film, No Time to Die. I think they're just going to throw them a bone. I don't think it deserves it. What I do think is deserving is my film of the year last year, and what I think is going to do should do great things in the Oscars, and that is Dune, directed by my guy Denis Villeneuve. Just an incredible technical feat, both visually and audibly. It's just a beautiful and film all around. What I think is going to win, and probably should win too, is Tick Tick Boom. Very unique editing, which helped in the film style and would make for a very very unique and fun film. And so if it does win, I'm very glad too. But again, my pick is going to be Dune, because I think that it's one of the best visual and unique films in the last movie, and I was looking forward to for a long time. I think this is going to be unanimous. I think this is the no brainer, one of the no brainers of the whole Oscars. It is the score for Dune by Hans Zimmer. I think that is a shoo-in to win. I think that there's no way that thing is just an incredible film where he literally invented instruments to make this score. He turned down Ridley Scott, and Ridley Scott was not happy about him turning him down, and he turned him down to make this film, and it was the right choice, because this is definitely going to win the Oscar for the best score. Again, this is a film I did not enjoy. I felt it was like a after school special with some very good performances, but still very after school special. And it is for Good Days, and the song is Somehow You Do. I think that will win, and is pretty much the only good thing I thought was from the film. Is a very great song. But what I think should win is No Time to Die, the title track from the film, written and performed by Billie Eilish. It is a great addition to the pantheon of Bond songs, and it is fantastic. Again, I'm very happy to contribute to the Oscar episode in any way I can, and I look forward to next year watching another 50 or so films within a few month period. Yeah, it's I definitely, like I said, enjoy this time of year just for that. So back to you guys.
We're back, and we
Thanks,
will
Andrew.
quickly make our picks for those same categories. Best sound,
I had Dune.
Dune. Best live action short,
I have The Long Goodbye.
I have Please Hold.
Okay.
Best
Please hold
animated
these
short,
rules. Robin.
Robin. Yep.
No.
Best documentary short,
Queen of Basketball.
absolutely Queen of Basketball. is my pick.
Produced by Steph Curry and Shaquille O'Neal. Ever heard of them?
Best film editing,
Dune.
Dune. Oh, I have Tick Tick Boom. I'm agreeing with.
Okay. Tick Tick Boom was my favorite movie of the year last year, and it's completely edited. I just think it's going to be like that's possible because that's one they've rewarded Bohemian Rhapsody, which didn't win Best Picture, but I just went for Dune on everything on this. But Tick Tick Boom, one of the reasons besides Garfield's performance I loved, even more than the songs, because the songs are good, is the editing of that film. That film is how it is shot together with three different things is unbelievable. So I like that. I went with Dune though. I went with Dune with all of them.
Best original score,
Hans for Dune.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest scores of all time. This is unbelievable. And he won his only Academy Award in 1994 for The Lion King. So he hasn't won close to 30 years. And he is the greatest composer working. He makes 5 films a year, and he's finally winning his second Academy Award. Well deserved.
And finally, best original song.
No Time to Die, Billie Eilish.
That's my pick as well. I'm rooting for Lin-Manuel Miranda because if he wins, this will complete his EGOT subcard.
Not there though, sadly. Did you see his wife tested positive, so he's got to watch it from home.
Yeah. So No Time to Die, Billie Eilish for sure. ABC wants to get her on TV, so
that's what I mean.
Okay, now it's time for the big ones. We'll kick things off with Best Supporting Actress. The nominees are Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Anjanou Ellis for King Richard. I am going with Ariana DeBose.
I'm also going with Ariana DeBose. This category has gone through a lot of iterations. All last year leading in, Kirsten Dunst was a lock. And then people thought maybe Judi Dench or the mom from Belfast, Catriona Balfe. She didn't get the nomination, so then Dench was the front runner there. And then it was pretty much DeBose since the Globe's hosted SNL. I believe she even won the SAG too. She won the SAG, and then Anjanou Ellis won the PGA. So Ellis is coming on a little strong too. Will's really supporting her and like gunning. But that might be a little too late. I think Ariana DeBose is she's going to take the step to be like the next, next big, young female, like person of color actress. And she's like throwing herself in there to win an Academy Award for a role that has already won an Academy Award. It's fun.
Yep. Best Supporting Actor. The nominees are Ciarán Hinds for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos, Cody Smith-McPhee for Power of the Dog. I am going with Troy Kotsur for Coda.
What a phenomenon Troy Kotzur's coming on. That just, again, you want to talk about stock rising? As soon as Coda people got the screeners for Coda, he went boom to the moon. I have him as well. I think it's going to be an incredible moment when he wins. He's going to be second to Marley Matlin, plays his wife in the film, but he's going to be the first deaf male actor to win an Academy Award.
Yep.
He's going to give a great speech. If he has a translator, it'll be awesome and well deserving as well too. We'll talk about Coda a little later in the picture. I want to get my quick hit thoughts on that, but that's to my hand. I have Kotsur winning this as well.
For anybody of the who like genre movies and are unfamiliar with Troy Kotsur's work, he played one of the Tusken Raiders in Mandalorian. He played one of the sign language speaking Tusken Raiders in that episode.
Seriously, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll move on to best original screenplay. Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, The Worst Person in the World. I am picking Belfast. Kenneth Branagh is finally walking away with a statue.
I'm picking Belfast as well too. I was gonna be cute and look at Worst Person in the World or Licorice Pizza. I think are the two frontrunners. PTA as well too. But then I was like, wait a minute. We talked about the marathon 6 months ago. Belfast was can't miss. Belfast was going to win 10 Academy Awards. Do I think it's that worthy? That clearly not. Neither do the voters. But no, this is like the front runner. This was like a lock in like October. This movie. So it's got to walk away with something. And I think the one that has the most clout because it's written by Kenneth Branagh. I think because it's so personal, this is the one where Branagh is going to win as well too. So we do agree on that. I have Belfast.
Best adapted screenplay. The nominees are Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog. I am picking Dune.
Okay, cool. I had two movies here that I was debating between. I picked Coda. I picked Coda to be safe because I'm hedging my bets on whether it wins picture or not. But I'm like, okay, I'll put Coda here because I don't know. I just, like I said, we'll talk about it. I do think if one wins, it'll be The Lost Daughter. I think if something wins this that's not Coda, I think more likely than Dune, it'll be Maggie Gyllenhaal for The Lost Daughter. I think I could see that winning an adapted screenplay. If the Aussies are all for sharing and like how they want to do that, and Maggie Gyllenhaal, and she's obviously from the Hollywood family, and her husband's in it, and it's her debut, and she wrote and directed, and Olivia Colman's nominated, and Jesse Buckley's nominated. I could see them get shut out on that, and she gets the adapted screenplay for adapting that from a story. So I wrestled hard, and I might even be talking myself into changing it, but I'm sticking with Coda.
For me, it's Dune because I think Denis Villeneuve should walk away for some sort of recognition for Dune. He's not nominated for Best Director, which is a shame. And if you believe the stories, he's been writing this script since he was 12 years old. So here's your lifetime achievement for writing award.
That's good. We'll see.
Up next, Best Actress, Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. Around Golden Globe time, I had a dream. I was asleep, dead asleep, and had a dream that Penelope Cruz was going to win the Academy Award for Parallel Mothers. So that's the pick I'm going with. Just psychic connection, Penelope Cruz.
That's fun. Every single person in this has been the front runner at one time, and this is the best category to watch. So Kristen Stewart was a front runner all year leading into it. Spencer comes out in October. She's the front runner. Then I think there's a little bit of a surge for Coleman in January when Lost Daughter hits Netflix, and they're like, well, it's kind of wide open. Do we just give it to Coleman? She's won before. She's like the next generation's Meryl Streep. And then it was Kidman and Cruz were like enormous previous winners. They came on. And then I think in the last little bit, when you really take stock of everything, my pick is Jessica Chastain because she's running a good campaign, and her and Stewart are the only people who've never won before.
Yeah.
Chastain's been nominated. I think this is her 5th nomination. I think they're going to look at it.
I'm not sure if it's that many. I think it's like 2 or 3. This might be 3.
Okay, so that's her 3rd nomination. So then if that's the case, I think they're going to look at that and be like, okay, it's finally, it's her 3rd, my bad. No, she was nominated for The Help, Zero Dark 30, and Eyes of Tammy Faye, okay, 3rd. And they're going to be like, okay, been nominated before, this is your chance, and we're going to bring you into the group. So I have Chastain for Eyes of Tammy Faye.
And I think if she wins, I'd be absolutely thrilled because I like that movie very much. Her performance was fantastic, but I think this is going to be one of those things where you have the front runners, but like last year, Anthony Hopkins, kind of swooped in. I think Penelope Cruz is going to be that same thing.
Good.
Let's save your boy for second to last. So we'll do Best Director first or third to last. Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. Ryusuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, and Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. I am going to pick Ryu Hamaguchi for Drive My Car.
It's not surprising. Honestly, that's what's true. I was listening to some podcasts, and it's nominated for picture. It's nominated for international, and obviously there's been an influx we've seen with international directors winning. It's possible. I went with the chalkiest pick ever, Jane Campion, only because I realized up to this point I did not have anything for Power of the Dog. You want to talk about? We've talked about stock risers. You want to talk about a stock faller who's ran probably one of the worst campaigns I've ever seen? Is Jane Campion. Literally every single thing is newsworthy in the wrong way, and the beef with Sam Elliott has been not good for the film. And the stuff she said about the Williams sisters was like, people were just torching her on Twitter. So it's just like, oh my God, what are you doing, Jane Campion? But with that being said, I still think we're going to celebrate her. And she's just been everywhere. And this film had 12 nominations. And this film had everything. We just have been picking Dune and other stuff in front of it. But I went with Power of the Dog in a chalk pick. But if you want to get nuts, Raisuke Hamaguchi is a fun pick to make.
For sure. And one part of her campaign, you might say, it could be not necessarily her, but Netflix. If you go on Netflix, there's a documentary about like behind the scenes for Power of the Dog, and it's pretty much called Behind the Scenes with Jane Campion. So any of the voters who watched that got to see her direct the movie as part of like a movie. It's almost like a DVD featurette right there on Netflix.
42 minutes of Cody Smith McPhee hula hooping. It's just him hula hooping violently.
Now for one of the big ones, the one.
How do I do this? This is it. We out here.
Best actor, Javier Bardem for being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith for King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. I am going to pick Andrew Garfield.
Cool.
Just so we separate.
You do that. I'm going to pick the winner. Guys, I've never wavered on my Will Smith. I've been a Will Smith fan for 30 plus years. Will Smith is my favorite person in Hollywood. And we out here. I feel like I'm winning this award. I am so excited. Last year, I mentioned that next year, Will Smith is going to win the Academy Award for King Richard. No one knew what King Richard was. King Richard comes out. It's good. It's fairly good. It's a very good performance in a likable, like 4-quadrant film. And he has run a great campaign. He released the memoir, disappeared, gave these incredible speeches. Go watch his speech at the SAG Awards, the PGA Awards, how he helped Ingenue Ellis, and she won, and she praised and thanked him. He is one of the most famous men on the planet. There was a debate on a podcast that I was listening to, is if Will Smith wins an Oscar, is he the most famous celebrity to ever win an Academy Award? I think yes, and I am so excited for that. So my favorite actor finally becomes Academy Award winner Will Smith. The years after Bright, and he did Suicide Squad and Collateral Beauty, and he stepped away and he refocused his drive, and he did King Richard, and he has Emancipation next year, and he's all the way back. Guys, Will Smith, Academy Award winner. That's my pick. That's my lock. I am so excited to see his speech tonight, and I'm just so happy that my faith has never wavered, and my favorite actor is going to take home a statue. I'm so excited.
It's interesting that you make the point that maybe he's the most famous person to win an Oscar. It reminds me of Frank Sinatra. Big time, huge singer of his time, and then later would win an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor.
That's what I mean. We can talk off screen on like who are some of the most famous. Like, is Lady Gaga more famous than Will Smith? It's a good debate. Sinatra's a great one too. I mean, this is fun, but
Cher, another one.
Yeah, but Will Smith's collective box office, what's his box office? So like $8 billion? $8 billion? Like, he is one of the most famous, like, that's what I mean. The family, the kids.
And especially
Big Willie did it.
And I'll make my argument for Andrew Garfield. He had 3 movies released last year: Spider-Man No Way Home, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, he's in that one, and Tick, Tick, Boom. And he won a nomination for Tick, Tick, Boom. All of those movies got nominated for Oscars. So I would make him Actor of the Year. And so he's going to be my pick for the Academy Awards. I mean, just so there's a little bit of a friendly competition between the two of us,
That's
because
fun. You know what I say too, though. But what happens for the Oscars? The Oscars, much like the NBA awards, NBA championship, I always find that the true greats, they have to get there, lose, then learn how to win. You look at everyone. MJ lost all the 80s. He got beat by the Pistons until he finally got there. LeBron as well got to the finals and lost. So Garfield, I believe, was nominated for Hacksaw Ridge. He gets there, loses, gets there for Tick Tick Boom, loses. He'll get his Oscar down the road. Garfield now losing for Tick Tick Boom is like when Will lost for Pursuit of Happiness. Lost 2 nominations, was beat by Forrest Whitaker that year. So Garfield's first one coming on the scene, that's kind of akin to Will's Ali, loses to Denzel. Will comes back with Pursuit, loses to Whitaker. Now Will's coming, and they're like, well, he's refocused. This is his 3rd nomination. You know, Garfield will get his, down the road. I loved it. That's my movie of the year. And he's my guy, but this is my guy. This is my number one guy since I was 5 years old.
And finally, we go to Best Picture. The nominees are Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. All 10 nominations got filled up. Like I said earlier, Power of the Dog is getting no picks from me.
I heard you.
So from there, I was like, what could be second place? Dune is the only one of these nominations I've watched more than once, and in my book is the most rewatchable movie of these nominations. Coda, I just watched yesterday, so maybe it's recency biased, but I really enjoyed it. But it is based on a French film. It's a remake of a French movie, but that doesn't really deter. Similar,
you're taking away Scorsese's Oscar.
Right. The Departed did the same thing, but The Departed was excellent. I am going to go with the safe pick. It's probably second place, but Belfast is my pick for Best Picture.
Great. Okay, cool. I like that. You didn't waver. That's fun. Good for you. That's cool. So same thing as you said. Okay, I'm going to try and walk my way through it. I did not pick Power of the Dog. Just kind of fizzled away. I like Power of the Dog more than you and Andrew both did. I enjoyed it. I don't think it got all the way there. I think it pulled a few of his punches, but I ultimately thought the last half hour was really great. And then that closing 5 minutes was really incredible. I thought that was really good, but my brain filled in the gaps more on that than the movie gave me. And I'm trying to debate on if that's the movie or if that's just the storytelling, if that wasn't there, if it wasn't cooked enough, and then I'm filling it in on my own. But so I didn't pick it. Dune is the one where every podcast is like, what are we doing here? Power of the Dog and Coda. We're going to look back in 5 years and be like, how did Dune not win? Dune is a transcendent Titanic style film that is going to live on for 50 years, 100 years after this. And people are like, just pick Dune. Just pick Dune in the moment. You will be glad that you picked Dune now. Academy Award winner Dune. Dune saved film industry last year when going to the theaters. It was one of the first movies back. It failed or succeeded where Tenet failed, and just reward it. Give it to it. It's got all the technical nominations. Do that for this movie. That being said, I'm picking Coda. I'm picking Coda as the best picture for a few reasons. The one of which, do I think it's the best movie of the year? Ish. I think the 2/3, we'll talk off camera. I think the 2/3 on to the end of the movie are incredible stuff. I think that last hour is unbelievable. I think that's good. I think it's hurt by the first 30 minutes of goofy comedy and slapsticky kind of stuff. And then I don't know, I thought the family was moderately unlikable until they kind of toned all that down and then brought them as a unit. And that was fun. Reason I'm picking Coda, surged at the perfect time. It's an incredible story about handicapped and overcoming adversity, which the Oscars always rewards and does. It's using a full deaf cast, which is important aside from the daughter. And the one thing that I think is important to think about is Power of the Dog will probably, so this is a balloting system. It's 1 to 10. So you rank the films and they get voting off of it like the NBA or NHL awards. And then the cumulative total wins. Power of the Dog will finish first on a lot of ballots, probably the most ballots, but I also think Power of the Dog is going to finish last on a lot of ballots or towards the bottom. I think Coda will be second on every ballot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Coda will run every ballot, all 700 voters will have Coda second or third. I think that cumulative total of second and third will be able to overcome Power of the Dog at 1 in the same way that happened for Moonlight beating La La Land. La La Land had 10 nominations and finished first on more ballots, but a lot of people thought it was egotistical and arrogant and self-indulgent and had it at like 6, 7, or 8. That hurt it. Whereas Moonlight was just able to chug along as the 2 and 3. And I think we're seeing the exact same thing with Coda. I think Coda's going to win. I think Coda's going to have, I think it's going to be a nice moment with the deaf, hearing impaired cast, the actors, everyone on stage at the end. They're going to give a great speech about overcoming adversity and what it is to be a child of deaf adults, is what Coda stands for. And I think that's how the Oscars will finish in that way.
Similar to, let's just predict maybe something extremely wild. Like last year, we both had Chadwick Boseman, and most of the world had, and the Academy and ABC had Chadwick Boseman winning Best Actor. That's why they put it last of the night.
That's why I think about that a lot.
And Anthony Hopkins wins.
So
what would be like a huge, like, wait, what in your mind?
Probably Don't Look Up winning screenplay. That's mine. Adam McKay winning for Don't Look Up for Best Original Screenplay, which I like. Why do people? I don't really understand. People are like offended by that movie. I don't think that movie's offensive. I think it's just like a fun satire. But like some people think it's like offensive propaganda, and I'm like, okay. But I think the wild one, and he's won before. He's an Academy darling, and he's got winning time right now. So he's got clout. He's got that power in Hollywood, and it's an open category. And I could, man, Don't Look Up winning original screenplay would be my wild, like, holy shit, they're doing this.
Which one? Don't Look Up. Okay.
Oh, for screenplay, yeah.
Yes. Mine would be, now this is way out of left field because I don't even think it can actually happen. But for when they announce Best Song, we don't talk about Bruno got like a huge write-in vote and it wins.
Imagine that. That would be something. They're performing it. That bugs me, man.
They are.
They're performing and not even nominated. And like, if we don't talk about Bruno cashes the Money in the Bank,
yes, exactly.
The Oscar. Yeah, that makes more sense. But yeah, they did not submit that. That's his own thing. But that's what I mean. That's how Encanto became a phenomenon. And like, but yeah, that would be the wildest. As far as acting, I don't know. There's some like people that are just happy to be nominated. Like Javier Bardem is not winning. J.K. Simmons is not winning. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would be the wildest. Because I'd say Lost Daughter, but that's not even wild. I'd be like, oh yeah, I actually think it's gonna. But
which is what happens when you watch all of these, when you marathon these Oscar movies. You get to the mindset of, like I said earlier, you see, you watch the movie, and it's like, yeah, I could see that winning for sure.
Oh, see, but I argue in the other way that I see like the behind the scenes. So when I see a Best Adapted Screenplay in The Lost Daughter, I see Maggie Gyllenhaal and I see her husband Peter Skarsgård, and I see her, like literally it says debut directing feature debut, and I see that and I go, oh, that's why they'll pick The Lost Daughter, because Maggie Gyllenhaal's been acting for 20 years, and like maybe the movie's whatever. Maybe the Dulce should have gotten nominated for supporting actress, but I could see that too. So, but I wouldn't be as shocked. Nothing will shock me as much as Hopkins.
So that's going to do it for us. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell us who you think will win in the comments below. Scott, it's been real. Maybe we'll come back with our reaction in like a day or two. The Oscars are tonight. It's Sunday.
Will's speech.
And maybe, yes, that's what you'll be. I'm sure you'll have Will's speech memorized by the time we come back to LFG.
We did it. I'm not even bragging. We did it. We did it.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.